Oh, I have
Yeah.
added
Hi.
out stream.
Okay.
Hello, hello,
I was backstage, so I just wanted to
hello,
let you know.
hello,
I
everybody.
refreshed and it took me back.
So today, we are excited to bring you, yet another masterclass. Thank you so much for those who are joining in. Thank you so much. So we're excited to bring you yet another masterclass. Today we will be taking you through introduction to blockchain. How did we get to really evolve? We also take you through, cryptocurrencies, the world of blockchain, and introduce you basically to Binance ecosystem, which will also come up with new sessions in future. So today we are joined with, one of the best talents on Binance. We will be introducing our guests shortly. So we can start the introductions with Rachel, who is one of our best talents. Rachel is one of the Binance East Africa Angels. So please, Rachel, please take over and introduce yourself.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for joining. My name is Rachel from Uganda, and I'll be taking you through uh, how to create an account on Binance. Thank you.
All right, all right. You've heard Rachel from Uganda. All the Ugandans in the house say hi. All right, all right. So the next guest is one of our, best talent again. Who is George? So George, please introduce yourself. Tell us more on what we're going to cover today.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Madendo. My name is Mwakisha Judge. I'm the business development manager for Binance in East Africa, and basically, we are really, really excited today, to join you guys on this amazing session, which are going to teach you and bring you into perspective about blockchain, the history of money, where did everything get started, basically. So why are we here? What are we doing? And what is the future of cryptocurrency? Lately, guys, I'm sure you've had a lot of fad and a lot of reactions from people who believe in crypto, people who just started with crypto, people who have never heard about crypto, all talking about crypto, the crash, crypto going up, what is happening, and all that. So we're going to help you understand the intrinsic value behind these cryptocurrencies, the technology behind it, and also we feature about history of money, like where did everything get started, and bring you all the way to Binance Exchange. So we also need you guys to learn why Binance and why should you be part of the Binance. So I think it's going to be a really amazing session. So thank you so much, Madendo, for the great introduction. And I think for those guys who have just joined us, please remember we have some amazing, amazing giveaways. Please do not miss to open your account. Just open your Binance account and then make sure you stay to the end on this particular masterclass. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, George. We are really, really humbled to have you, today on today's masterclass. Our fourth guest is another one of our best performing angels. That is Louis. Louis, please introduce yourself. Tell us more about yourself.
Hi, Madendu, Rachel, and Host George. Hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can get you clearly.
Yeah, thanks for being here. My name is Louis, uh, one of the angels in East Africa, and I'm happy to I'm going to be sharing about P2P, and I'm actually quite excited to at least show us the basics about how to go about the P2P. But all in all, this is going to be an exciting session. I'm looking forward for it, and yeah, happy to see you all here today. Thank you.
All right, all right, all right. So we are going to start with understanding, the history. to start with the
think he,
history.
hello?
Yes, yes. So
Okay.
we're going to start with the history of money. We get to understand how did we get to where we are. So on that, please, let's see, what we have today, and the history of money. So I'll be taking you through, history of money. So I believe everyone can be able to see my screen. George, please confirm this.
Yes, we can see your screen.
All right, all right. So let's take a walk back to, some time back when money in itself was different. How was money in the early days of money? How was it? How was it? So in the early days of monetary system, money was non-elastic, which meant that borrowing, investing, and lending came directly from savings. So what that means is we had to have a pool of our own money for us to be able to borrow and invest. So the supply of money in these particular days was fixed. That meant, money, you could not just produce any more money. You needed to for you to get more money, you either work for it or sell something or use labor to get to resources like gold, which you could now in turn sell to get some more money. So the supply of money grew relatively on pace with the population growth as well as the number of resources being produced. All right. So now the relationship between money and resources was of relative value. What we mean by that is the value of all the money was equal to the value of all the resources. What that meant that if we had, let's say, two resources and we had one unit of money, and the amount of money in the system does not change, but the number of resources increases, then it meant that the individual resources would be purchased with less money than it took before, right? So the prices of everything continually went down. The value of money was constantly increasing over time. What we mean by this is the value of money was increasing in value, all right? In this system, debt was punished because it used to get harder to get to more money over time, as opposed to being easier to access the same amount of money that would be presenting a constantly increasing pool of resources, right? So now let's go back to how banks used to operate. So at this point, people used to have gold, and they used to take their gold to the banks for storage at a small fee, as it was much easier than carrying around gold bars, and yet it was somehow more secure. So the bank would issue a certificate that would rather present the equal amount of gold and was redeemable at any particular time. All right. So whenever you wanted to make a purchase, you'll go and take your certificate to the bank. Then you redeem that gold, and then take gold and silver. Then take that gold and silver to make your own purchase. All right. So then the merchants would go and take your own gold that you've now paid for the resources and get the similar certificate. So with time, people realized, this certificate you are being given is as good as the gold reserves, all right? So the certificates, because it could be redeemed by anyone, all right? So the merchants therefore could accept the certificates in exchange for goods and services. So now we come to a time where now banks realize something, that bankers at any particular time, there's very little chance that all the people will want to redeem their certificate at once, and came up with this idea that they could take some of the gold in their reserves, which is redeemable on demand, of course, and lend it out to users at a small interest rate. All right. So please note that this is different from how people used to lend out money before. You could only borrow what someone else had. All right? So money was non-elastic, so everything had to be in one particular collective resource, right? So you could only borrow what someone has. However, in this type of lending, the bankers were actually lending money into existence. Remember, both the certificate was considered money as well as the gold, which was represented by the certificate. That was the certificate that was in circulation, all right? And that could be used to buy goods and services. So if this process is repeated a significant number of times, then there would be substantial increase in the total amount of money in the economy, right? So now there's kind of a reverse relationship between money and resources. Remember, money, all the money used to equal to all the resources, right? So now the supply of money starts growing, then the prices of resources slowly get the prices of resources decrease, in a slower manner compared to before. Then eventually the prices of these particular resources become stable and they stop decreasing with time. So with time now, things get worse and the prices actually start going up, since all the money has to be equal to all the resources, right? So from the first picture you can look at here, you see that if you have $2 to buy two resources, then $1 is equal to one resource, right? However, from the second picture we have here, if you create more dollars in this particular economy, and now you have two resources, rather one resource, but then the dollar, you have like $3. So now you create $3 and you have, let's say, two resources. What will happen is there will be a price increase, because now each resource in this case will be worth $1.5. All right, this means that the prices of things start going up. So now, those of us who've done investing before, what you're looking for basically is to increase the value of what you already have. So if you're buying, let's say, crypto, land, any traditional kind of shares, what you're looking for is to have your resources, increase in value. But in this case now, the people think they are getting rich from from them, the resources increasing in value. Mostly this goes to the merchants in this particular economy. This was in the early days. So this causes a positive feedback loop, and now people start investing in this particular asset that everyone else thinks that is performing good. Now, so just because of the laws of demand and supply, um, the prices of things eventually stops increasing. All right. So since the asset is oversupplied and there is little to no demand, yet not enough money being made for the asset to still be in demand, this asset will now no longer be profitable. Hence, people will start to sell. Why would you anyway be holding something that doesn't have any returns at this particular time? So this fake wealth effect comes in, and once it kicks in, people now need to start selling. So these were the causes of immature demand. All right. So now when people start to sell, they drive the prices down, because you want to sell before the next person, so you undercut each other. That's basically it. So people have to rely on savings, which they used to have before, which leads to massive withdrawals and redemptions. So this will cause the banks to have to recall those particular loans. Remember, they lent out the gold, so they have to recall those particular loans because now people are coming back and they want to redeem their own certificates. All right. So when the loans are recalled, remember, we are talking in the early days. And how things used to really happen. So when the loans were being recalled back in the days, it rather leads to goods and assets being sold to get the liquidity in gold to pay the withdrawals and redemptions. So this causes more of a bust because now there's massive sales throughout the whole economy. In this particular case, this back in the days, so there was like massive sales. Anytime you have like you're trying to sell and you all undercut each other, that means you're going to push down the price. So notice this could have not been caused in a free market. Rather, this is a result of fraudulent creation of money by fractional reserve banking system. How was that done? That was purely done by issuing the certificates and the gold at the same time, which causes kind of a double spending. So now we have something we call a bank run. So people quickly realize their banks may have lent out more than they could have in the system. Now everyone rather wants to go and get their gold before the other person gets their gold, as the bank could be bankrupt anyway. So this causes a bank run to occur, and of course the bank does not have enough gold in their reserves. So you've been rather, those of us who are in Kenya, maybe you've seen such cases where once you lose confidence in a bank, most of them they may go down because now everyone is going to their ATMs, they want to withdraw. I'm just now focusing now on previously what used to happen in the golden era. So now notice this fraudulent creation of money that should have been outlawed, as it was promising to redeem gold at any particular time while locking it up in loans that cannot be recalled on demand. Instead, this process actually got nationalized. So how did it get nationalized? So there was creation of central banks. The central banks were created to act as a bank for other banks. So in case, let's say there was a bank run to one particular bank, the central bank would act to come in rather and bail out these banks at the risk, the banks which were at the risk of a bank run, all right? So the central banks would give the bank money from the new reserves transferred from other banks. So other banks already have their own reserves. So now they pull in the resources together, they pull in the gold together. So in case, let's say, you lose confidence a bit on one particular bank, now the central bank is there to bail them out. Because now once you reinstate the confidence, then the banks are able to operate back. So the risk was not eliminated in this case. Rather, the risk was actually distributed to the entire system instead of isolating it. So those of us who've done risk management, you need to how to manage the risk is actually trying to isolate it as opposed to distributing it throughout the system. Now, the central banks were formed in 1913, all right? But by 1921, there was already a first depression. And then again in 1930, there was another depression. So this time, how the government came into, the central bank, so, was like a lender of last resort in this case. But then what really happened is the central bank could also, now there's like a bank run to many banks, which the central bank is trying to back it up, right? So the bank has no enough resources to actually bring the system back, to reinstate that faith. All right. So now what really happened rather is the government had to be involved. In this case, today we are looking at the dollar because let's say you want to buy something outside your own country, from wherever you're coming from. There's a high chance you need to buy at the dollar for you to be able to transact. So let's say you're going to buy something online, you need to check out with your card. That's the trading currency at that particular time. So you have to look at that particular resource, that particular currency that was able to affect this whole system at this particular time. So in this case, the government used monopoly of power on violence, rather, by threatening to imprison people who did not give their gold out to the banks. So once this gold was repossessed, it was then repriced by raising its price to match the newly created money. Can you now imagine what really has happened? So we come you come and give me your gold. I tell you at any time, yes, you can redeem your gold, and I will give. You can just give me your certificate. I'll just give you back your gold. Now, what happens if I am not able to honor your request? All right. And now, instead of just not honoring your request, I come back and repossess those certificates that you have, the gold that is already in the system, and then reprice it, give it a higher price, and then push it back into supply. So with this, that means there was kind of a manipulation, all right? So with time, the central banks of the United States, in this case, ended up becoming the bank to other banks of the world. And of course, other governments backed it. That is something we call the Bretton Woods Conference, which was back in 1944. So let's see how now, after the creation of the central banks. So what now happened with the Bretton Woods Conference? So after the creation of these models, more dollars were actually minted. All right. So the rest of the world realized that, in the Bretton Woods Conference, something now we need to also understand is, the government came in and said, and brought in the other governments and said, for ease of trade, why don't we give you some dollars in exchange for your gold? But then you can redeem that gold at any particular time that you want, all right? And then you just bring back your dollars, and then we'll give back your gold. That was what was talked on the Bretton Woods Conference, all right? So now, where we are is, we are looking at the Bretton Woods Conference. Now, the United States government was able to, in this particular case, drag in the other countries. Now, remember, you are transferring the risk to the whole system as opposed to eliminating that particular risk. So after the creation of this model, of course, as we said, that more dollars were minted, and the rest of the world realized that there's more paper, there's more dollars than there is gold reserves, which sparked again a bank run on there. Now it's a bank run by other governments to one particular government. So when the government realized that they are running out of gold, they stopped this redemption. So one can no longer redeem their gold that they were promised that, just give back, give us your dollars, your gold, and we'll give you back dollars for ease of transfer. And then now you're told, no, you can no longer redeem your gold. We no longer have those. So in 1971, this was the end of the gold standard. Remember, Bretton Woods Conference was what brought in the gold standard, all right? So gold being, so what now the government also went ahead to do, after the end of the gold standard, they confiscated all the gold that they could get into, which was only possible through monopoly of violence. That could be maybe into wars, what have you. So now we enter an interesting phase, which is the fiat age. So the fiat money, now the governments took control of the money minting through, of course, the central banks. The creation of money was only limited by laws that they put in from, early the Bretton Woods Conference. So this led to lots of episodes of inflation and hyperinflation. Some of the countries losing, like, you create a lot of money thinking you are actually helping your citizens, and then you just quickly realize that you messed up. Prices of things now go up, and there was like persistent inflation. The banks could still operate as if there were gold reserves backing the money, and the central banks act as banks for other banks. Now, notice in this system, debt is actually rewarded and saving is actually punished. Why? If you are to say buy oil in today's price, back in the day, okay, while on debt, right? Then if there is no interest charged, then say next year with an inflation rate of, let's say, 8%, you'd actually be paid the same amount of oil. Rather, for the same amount of oil, you'd actually be paid more money, all right? So it would be worth, the money actually would be worth less, right? The money would be worth less of that particular amount. So this was now starting to give people, the false perception that they were actually making money on assets. On this example, I'm assuming like all factors are kept constant for the demonstration of this particular example. It's not always that straightforward, right? So same case with saving. When you are keeping your money not invested just in a bank, 1 year later you have less value of that particular money. If say I kept 100,000 shillings for 5 years, then today it would still be 100,000. Let's say it was not on a savings plan, all right? It would still be 100,000, but now could buy less. It was worth less. It was the fiat now became less valuable, all right? So now, so as before, whenever people would identify opportunities that they could get rich quick, they would really exploit them. So as you can tell in today's system, now this was post 1971, all right? So in today's system, corporations are highly leveraged. They are highly leveraged on debt, and this puts the whole system at risk. So some big corporations, especially in the real estate today, run bankrupt just because of the system. Governments are able to let this go, and there's like need to maintain inflation numbers so as to match the perceived growth numbers, i.e., the GDP and what have you. So, however, again, it's not that direct. This is not just an overview of what really happens, and but certainly you can tell the fiat has been losing value. What that means is in 20, let's say in, I remember our early days, we could go and buy bread with KES, Kenyan shilling coin, and it used to cost like 20 shillings. But right now, a smaller amount of the same bread could cost more. This is due to the inflation. So the buying power of the currency we are holding, or the fiat currency that we are holding, is actually going down very, at a high pace because of the inflation. All right. So now let's look at something interesting here. The government uses the reserves to create more money. How rather basically, but the governments are able to borrow themselves. So remember, at by this time, all you have to do is to reprice the gold or any particular resource you are holding. So it appears to be gaining more value by price increases. But ideally, what is really happening is its value in dollars is actually inflating. So governments usually cannot directly issue out money. So therefore, most of the times they borrow from banks who borrow from the Federal Reserves and other monetary funds. Then remember, we are covering this in focus to one particular currency, since all the other central banks need to be holding, let's say, dollars for international trade. You cannot use your local currency just that way to buy something else elsewhere. You need to convert them to dollars for fiat. So now, more on this rather, especially in the US, the what really happens is the Fed, can create money. Then the banks are able to borrow from the Fed, and then the banks are able to lend to the governments. And these are feedback, a loop that basically continues, but it's basically the same organization, right? So now, with time, the debt burden has become too huge. So to counter this, you need to generate more income to make it easier to pay off debts, which means you need to make more money, or make money more easier to get. And how do you do that? You have to raise the prices. Then if you increase the prices, there's need to also increase the total supply of money in the system, which means you need also to spend more and rely on individuals to borrow more. So this is like a feedback loop which continues over and over and over. But the only way you can increase the spending is through borrowing, which is why the debt levels have increased drastically by, you know, but the cost of servicing this particular debt has decreased. So this mostly impacts the banks, as there is no more accessibility of money, lending to interest, rather leading to interest rates going down, since again one bank wants to offer you the cash that they have, while another bank also wants to counter the offer, etc. So if you look at you're keen, the last correction we had like this year on both stocks and crypto was mainly because of the announcement of the interest going up, which would mean that there was, because of the rising concern of inflation. To counter it, how they do it is basically having the, increasing the interest rates so that there is less money in the system, because now the cost of borrowing is going to be high. So now we enter an interesting stage where we call, rather, which we call the central bank digital currencies. So the central bank digital currencies mainly, eliminates the middlemen who are the banks. Whenever the government wants to borrow itself, they had to use the banks. But now central bank digital currencies, basically it's your fiat now available on a distributed system. So this gives the central banks more control. Data can also be easily tracked. It also allows the central banks to push money where it's needed, or to remove money from where they need it to be removed, because now it can be programmed to say, let's say, people of a certain community, of a certain race, of a certain, you can specifically target people with this particular, you can also, let's say, enforce a higher tax on particular goods whenever they are spent. Let's say if you spend more dollars on your, or more KES, or more UTX, or more TZS on one particular thing, then it makes it more expensive. So this could be used for lots of good and bad. And how it differentiates from crypto is central banks, the CBDCs, they are actually permissioned. They are not permissionless, all right? Crypto is permissionless. CBDCs are permissioned. What we mean by that is you need to have a wallet and KYC it, of course, and you need to have that money to be able to spend it. And it can be controlled by a central authority. Crypto is not. You cannot control it. It's basically you can spend it at any particular time. In terms of anonymity, crypto is actually pseudonymous. It's not anonymous, it's pseudonymous. And the central bank CBDCs, they are actually anonymous. Why? The data is only available to the nodes, which is the central banks and the banks themselves. All right. So in terms of centralization, of course, crypto is mostly decentralized, and in this case, we are focusing particularly on Bitcoin, because that's the main, currency. And when you look at the beneficiaries in any system, what you'll be looking for is, in case the beneficiary is in case the beneficiary is one particular, or is centralized, then you can be assured of yourself that you're actually losing it. All right. So this is more like what we have discussed, and that's basically what I would like to talk about, the history of money. There is lots of things that we could actually be learn about the history of money. And prepare your questions. Again, remember there is a giveaway, a $500 giveaway. Make sure you are here to the end of the system, because these we are able to now also distribute the giveaway to the people who now understand the best out of this. Create your accounts, because you also need to have your Binance accounts. All right. So now I will introduce our next guest. That is George Mwakisha, who will tell us now, between this particular, the underlying technology of blockchain, the underlying technology that crypto uses. How are you able to access it? What really happens? So George will take us through the world of blockchain. So George, are you ready for us?
Hello.
Hello, George.
You can hear me well? You can hear me well?
All right. So as we wait for our presenter to get ready, you have now come to learn something, something new about Binance and how the history of money, basically. So I think George
Hello,
is
please
ready.
confirm if you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you clearly. So you can now start your presentation, and then we'll share it.
Madenda, able to hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, please stop sharing so that I can share the slides.
All right, all right, all right. So my share just a sec. Okay, just a sec. Perfect. So now you're
You
able to share the screen.
you can be able to see my screen now.
Yes, and we have shared it. All right.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So let me know if you can hear me clearly.
Yes, you're clear and you can see your screen now.
All right. Just confirm once again that you can hear me.
Yeah, that's correct, and we can see your screen.
Hello.
George, we can hear you, and we can hear you clearly.
Okay, good. Let me proceed. Thank you so much. So now let's get to the world of blockchain. So what is blockchain? All right, let's start from there. And these slides are brought to you courtesy of Binance Academy. So Binance Academy is where you get all the materials about cryptocurrencies, about blockchain, about Bitcoin. So please make sure you can go and check it out. Binance Academy. Okay, just Google Binance Academy and you can be able to learn so much about this particular technology. So let me go quickly. I'm not going to waste so much of your time. I'm just going to bring you to the perspective on where everything start, where we are right now on matter of technology. So in 3500 BC, we had the wheel technology, all right, and that was the movement gap. And then quickly thereon, we went to the printing press, okay, the printing press, and then the engine. Quickly, as the technology evolved around 1950s, then that's where the internet came. So the internet became the game changer of what we see today. So what is the internet? All right. So the internet bridged the gap between the information. So it enabled movement, sharing, and distribution of information easily and quickly. All right. Now, thereafter, we saw something called social media. So social media, which came in the 90s, okay, from the emergency of emails, websites, and so on. This brought a lot about people able to share information easily, quickly, and also to be able to discuss and communicate very easily. Okay, now quickly thereafter, then we went to a technology we call blockchain. So what is blockchain and where did it get started? Now that was around 2009. Okay, that's around 2009. But before we go into deep, of course, we have learned about money, and Mazen have really taken us through about the history of money, and you talk about the history of banking and so on. So just briefly, I will just tell you about fiat money versus cryptocurrencies, so that we can be able to learn this session well. We also talk about Bitcoin, what is Bitcoin, and who created Bitcoin. Now, that is also where we're going to learn about blockchain and what is blockchain. All right. We also just slightly go and talk about Bitcoin versus blockchain as well. All right. Bitcoin versus blockchain, and then also cryptocurrencies versus fiat money. All right. Not Bitcoin per se, cryptocurrencies as a whole. So what is money? Okay. What is money? What is money? Money is anything or a tool that can exchange value. A tool that can exchange value very easily. And then any object can be used as money. So you see, when kids are growing up, okay, they usually have some sort of small things which they play around with, and they use those particular small objects as valuable assets. Okay, now the one who holds the majority of those small balls, I think, I'm not sure what name I can use, depends on the region which you came from. So those balls, for us guys, we used to call them gololis or something like that, gololi. So those gololis, they're very valuable, and the child who's holding the majority of those actually is potentially rich, right? It's potentially rich. So value is a shared belief. So people can agree that this particular asset is of value, okay, and they give it a specific value, and they be able to believe that the one who's holding it actually is potentially wealthy, all right, And that's just a belief, because right now, nowadays, we don't even have the traditional methods of value anymore. People nowadays, someone with a lot of cows cannot really be considered wealthy, but someone with a lot of cars can be considered wealthy. All right. So you can feel that value has really shifted. So what is fiat money? All right. What is fiat money? So fiat money is paper money that is issued by the government. Okay. It's paper money that is issued by the government. Usually is the legal tender that has replaced gold and other commodities. Okay. It's portable and easy to use. It's not scarce, okay, because they keep printing more and more of it, causing inflation. You can see how our fiat currencies have really, been going down against the dollar. They have no intrinsic value whatsoever. Okay, fiat money they are basically not backed by anything. So, what is cryptocurrencies? Okay, what is cryptocurrencies? In 2008, a gentleman by the name, not even gentleman, it's actually a synonymous by the name Satoshi Nakamoto, introduced digital form of money which can be transferred between two people or between two parties, one party to the other party, which you call peer-to-peer, and introduced the first cryptocurrencies called blockchain. Now, what is cryptocurrency? We'll talk about Bitcoin. Sorry, the first cryptocurrency called Bitcoin. So we'll talk about that shortly. So cryptocurrencies is a digital form of money. It's a digital form of money and is protected by cryptography. It cannot be duplicated or destroyed. It's distributed through a network we call P2P or peer-to-peer. Okay, it's borderless or it's global. It can be shared across the globe easily, quickly, efficiently, without any barriers or without any intermediaries. So let's get back to Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is the first cryptocurrency. In fact, we need to use the word the first successful decentralized cryptocurrency, which was invented in 2008 and launched in 2009. Bitcoin is very transparent. It's also scarce because it will only have a maximum of 21 million Bitcoins. It's also open source. What does open source mean? And also it's censor resistant. All right, censor resistant. Bitcoin is also so we talked about cryptocurrency. Yeah, so Bitcoin. So who created Bitcoin? All right, who created Bitcoin? So Satoshi Nakamoto is a synonymous computer scientist who went by the name. It might be a group of people, an individual, or many, or he or she, or an organization. We actually do not have any idea about that. So he's the creator of the blockchain technology. So Bitcoin was the first blockchain technology. It initiated this particular technology called blockchain. It was the very brilliant solution to solve a problem called the double spending problem, whereby if you're sending a particular transaction, it is very important that that particular value of transaction leaves your bounty. It should not be with you. You should not remain with a copy of the same. Okay, and that is very important when you're distributing value. Okay, and one part of the value here is money. So it was launched Bitcoin was launched in 2009 and disappeared. So what disappeared? Actually, it is Satoshi who removed himself from that particular control of the Bitcoin, okay, of the Bitcoin. So what is blockchain? In short, blockchain is a technology behind cryptocurrencies. Okay, it's a technology behind cryptocurrencies. But for the techies in the house, blockchain is a distributed database. Okay, the blockchain is a new way of storing, validating, and structuring data. Blockchain technology is a decentralized, persistent, transparent, distributed, append-only ledger through a variety of consensus mechanism. Please note that you can find all these details from Binance Academy. So make sure you check out Binance Academy. Okay, Binance Academy. You can find it on Google. Okay, just type Binance Academy. You can learn so much from that particular. Over 200 articles or content have been put there to help you learn anything to do with blockchain, cryptocurrencies, metaverse, NFTs, and whatever. Okay, so please feel free to go back and learn more about this. Okay, so while we are talking about blockchain, which is the technology behind cryptocurrencies, what is it exactly? So it's a distributed database. Okay, we've said that. And then it's a chain of linked blocks. Now, this is a bit more technical for anyone maybe who's not so conversant with technology. But for those people who are interested, you can really learn so much about blockchain, okay, and the technology and how it works behind the scenes. So it's a special type of ledger, okay? It's a database because it records transactions. So you can record money, you can record documents, and all sorts of digital data, okay? It's also tamper-proof. Remember, once an information is appended on the blockchain, it cannot be changed. It cannot be changed. That's what you call immutable, okay? It's immutable. The participants therein don't need to trust each other. You don't really need to know the other person on the other side, okay? Because the technology itself verifies the people on the blockchain. And everyone keeps a track balance of the transactions. So what happens if someone tries to cheat the system? Okay, what happens? What happens is that it will not be validated. Okay, it will not be validated on the blockchain. So it's very hard for you to cheat the system. Okay, so Bitcoin versus blockchain. So Bitcoin, number one, is the fast blockchain. Okay, is the very, very fast blockchain. And then, but basically Bitcoin is now okay, we use the word Bitcoin as a product of blockchain. Okay, Bitcoin as a form of value which is distributed from one person to another person on the technology behind it, which is blockchain. Okay, so let's go quickly on the differences. So Bitcoin is the digital currency or the cryptocurrencies. Okay, but also there are those who define Bitcoin as the blockchain. Okay, because Bitcoin is a blockchain on its own. Now, it's also a financial asset. So Bitcoin is an asset that can be traded. Okay, you can buy your Bitcoin at a lower price. When the price go up, you can sell and make a potential profit. Or for those who understand how to play around with the markets, you can hedge that particular asset. First and most popular cryptocurrency. So Bitcoin is the first cryptocurrency, and also it's very, very popular. Okay, it's very popular. Also, Bitcoin is a computer software, and also it's an open source. Okay, and it's public and decentralized. It's public and decentralized. What does that mean? Anybody can be able to participate. Anyone can be able to access, buy, sell, transfer without any amount of value of that particular asset. Now, blockchain is the technology behind cryptocurrencies. Okay, we've said it's a distributed database. It's also a record keeping information place, and also any kind of digital data can be put therein. Okay, whether it's medical records, whether it's voting, whatever, you can keep it on the blockchain. Several use cases. There are so many use cases of blockchain. Okay, so many use cases. So just to bring you to context, what is cryptocurrencies versus fiat money? Okay, cryptocurrencies versus fiat money. So Bitcoin is just one of the cryptocurrencies. Okay, so just quickly though, fiat money is money that is issued by the government. So what does that mean? It is money which is centralized. Okay, it's controlled by a specific body. For example, in Kenya, we have Central Bank of Kenya. In Uganda, we have Bank of Uganda, and in Tanzania and many other countries, we have several central banks. Okay, but for Bitcoin, it's a decentralized digital asset. That means there is no one person or entity that is in control of that particular asset. Number two, fiat money or government issued currencies are usually controlled by the government. The Kenyan government is in control of the Kenyan shillings. Tanzania government is in control of the Tanzanian shillings. Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are global currencies, and they can be shared among people through peer-to-peer method. Okay, and then Bitcoins fiat money is not scarce. Okay, that means they can print any amount of money they want at any point of time. While Bitcoin, it is very scarce. Or cryptocurrencies, most of them, they have a capping Now, Bitcoin, for example, in this case, will only have a maximum of 21 million Bitcoins in circulation, and we are almost maxing out. So what does that mean? That after we have maxed out the circulation, we can only use 21 million, which is in circulation. We cannot get more Bitcoins by printing more or by duplicating what is already in circulation. And then on fiat money, they have unlimited supply. Okay, like you say, they can keep printing more and so on. And then, of course, for cryptocurrencies, they're very fast when it comes to distribution, okay, or moving from one party to another party globally. It's very easy and quickly. And then they're also censorship resistant. No one can come and like ask you not to share your particular digital asset from one person to another person. All right, so I don't want to go through this bank part of it because that has been tackled in our previous slide. I will really want to save our time so that we don't take so much time on this particular session. So guys, if you have any question, please feel free to drop it on the chat section and we'll be able to cover it before the end of this particular session. And also, please make sure you are participating in this particular masterclass. And for those who have registered, ensure that you stand. Be sure that you stand a chance to win a pool of $500. For before the end of the masterclass. So Bitcoin mining, but please make sure you stay till the end. All right, till the end, and make sure you have verified and KYC'd your account. Okay, if only people who are verified their accounts are able to win. Okay, so mining. So before I finish, before the end of the session, we'll be sharing a form, okay, which will need you guys to fill quickly. And then for those people who will be filling, those are the guys who will be standing the chance to win the pool of $500. Okay, so mining, I won't talk so much about mining because mining is a way of verifying transactions on the blockchain. Simple. Okay, it might not be so necessary for your journey in crypto for those just want to learn and how to trade the markets and so on. Remember, most guys who make money in cryptocurrencies don't actually understand what goes on behind the scenes. Okay, so it's not so necessary, but usually it's good for those people who want to dig deep into the technology. Remember, there's so much more in the technology. You can become a developer. There's so many careers in cryptocurrencies. Okay, you can become a developer. Apart from just trading the markets and so on, you can do so much within technology. Okay, so some of the use cases of blockchain. Okay, one of them is remittances. Okay, enabling moving money from one party to another party. Also, it has enabled supply chain, healthcare, okay, and others include charity. You have seen I think World Food Program. It's using the Celo blockchain to distribute their charity to some regions like Kibera and so on. So Celo is a coin which is listed in Binance as well. So be sure with Binance, we always list projects which have a real value, all right? And other things include dApps. dApps is the decentralized applications, gaming, governance, so many other things like NFTs, which are coming nowadays, metaverse, and so on. So this technology keep evolving, guys. And every time you are out there, please make sure you keep yourself updated to what is coming. So I think I'm basically done with our today's topic on cryptocurrencies and blockchain. Okay, so I don't know if you have any question, but just to bring you to the context of Binance. So Binance is the biggest cryptocurrency trading exchange. Okay, it's the biggest cryptocurrency trading exchange, but Binance also it's a big company. Okay, it's a big whole ecosystem. So for us guys here, we are focused on the Binance exchange. So the exchange itself is a place which can help you or enable you to buy and sell and invest, save, and borrow cryptocurrencies. Okay, so it's a whole exchange, it's a whole banking system. So okay, Binance exchange, so that is binance.com. So make sure you have binance.com account so that you can be able to access assets of Binance. You can be able to trade on P2P, spot trading, futures, and so on. We'll be going through those particular products. So Binance Academy is a place where you can learn anything to do with cryptocurrencies. That is from blockchain, Bitcoin, NFTs, metaverse, and so many other things. Binance also has charity. It also has Binance Labs, Binance Launchpad, Binance Research, Trust Wallet, Binance Chain. We also have CoinMarketCap.com and so many other products in the Binance ecosystem. Okay, our goal is very simple: to spread the freedom of money, to spread the freedom of money and help in expanding the blockchain industry. So feel free to check out Binance Academy just to keep learning more. And just to wrap it up quickly, we have learned about the history of money all the way down. And in case you have any questions, please make sure you drop it on the chat section, and and then we'll be able to answer it. Okay, we'll be able to answer it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for attending today's session. Back to you, Madendo.
All right, all right. That was a really, really good presentation showing clearly what blockchain is.
Hello.
And yes, yes, we can hear you, George. We thank you for your presentation. It has been good showing you clearly. Those of us who don't understand mining, those of us who don't understand some of these things, now you're able to actually understand. So in addition to that, we are also on Telegram. So you are able to learn more about these things. We are not maybe able to capture everything in one session. So we are on Telegram as Binance East Africa. Binance East Africa. So the link is posted and it's right there. So we are on Telegram as Binance East Africa. So you're also able to join on our Telegram groups so that you're also able to keep in contact. And we have our Binance Angels who are always here to help in case you have any kind of issues. We are able to help in case of those particular issues. Now, we've learned about history of money. Now we've learned about blockchain, how basically we've been operating, why blockchain is needed. Now the next step is us knowing what Binance is and how are you able to leverage Binance in terms of how are you able to learn with Binance? How are you able to use Binance products to at least make some income and what have you? So now we introduce our next guest who will show us first how to create your own accounts, how to create and verify your own accounts. Rachel, who is a Binance angel from Binance East Africa, will be taking us through how to create your verify and secure your accounts. Again, remember at the end of this session, we will be able to share with you up to $500. And those of us who are able to stay throughout the session will have a chance to win up to $500. We'll also take some of your questions. So reserve your questions. We'll be able to answer them. We'll be here to with you to answer the questions. So now let's welcome our guest, Rachel. Thank you so much. You can take over.
Thank you, Mathendu, and good evening, everyone. Thank you all for joining. My name is Rachel, and I'm a Binance angel from Uganda. So now that we've learned all about the history of money and blockchain, I'm going to take you through how you can create an account with Binance. And as Binance is the leading cryptocurrency exchange in the world in terms of volume. Masendu, let me know if you can see my screen in a
Uh,
few.
it's not yet here. So I'll be waiting for you to share and then you can share it to the audience. So, all right, all right. The screen should be
Mhm.
able to be shared now. Perfect. So I believe everyone can be able to see the screen. I believe everyone can be able to see the screen. So Rachel, you can proceed.
All right, so I'll take you all through how you can simply create an account with Binance and how we can verify our accounts and secure them. And if time allows, I'll be able to show you a small demonstration. So this is how the Binance website basically looks like for those of you that use the web version. And when you're going to create your account, always make sure that you have accessed uh, the right website. So always make sure that it's www.binance.com. And you can always click register. You can click here on register or register now, and it's as simple as that. So this is the interface that you're going to get, and you have two options. You can either use an email or mobile phone number. So in this case, we are going to go through using an email. So you put your email and create a password that is strong enough. And for referral ID, that is if someone has referred you, always make sure that you check that the referral ID has been inputted, or you can always manually put it there if someone has referred you. So after you put in your email and you've created a password, you click create account, and you're going to get a verification code. It's a 6-digit verification code that is sent to the email address that you've used to create the account. So you click on your email, it comes like this. Some people are not able to receive the email in the primary folder, so you can I've heard of some other people that have received their email under social, so you can always check your social or primary folder. And then you'll have the code. It appears like this in your email. You copy the code and paste it back to the website. So that is basically it. That's how easy it is to create an account with Binance. And in case you have any issues, maybe you're not receiving the email, you can always check your spam folder or the junk folder, or you can whitelist the Binance email address. And if these two options don't help you out, you can still contact live support. And when you contact live support, make sure to provide your email and explain exactly what is happening. So after you've created your account, just prepare for the next section. Prepare your ID documentation. So you can use any of these documentation. You can use a passport, an ID, or a driver's license. And then also, if you have a selfie, you can prepare your selfie or headshot. So in this session, we are going to section 2. I'll talk about how to verify your identity. So identity verification is very important. It's what they call KYC, know your customer. Most of you have heard about KYC. So uh, for this, you have to verify your identity, and it's as after you've logged in into your account, you check at the top left of your website and click on this icon here. After clicking on the icon, you select identification, and this is the window that shows after clicking identification. So on identification, the first step is personal details. So you click on verify and have your details ready. You start out by filling basic account information, and basic information, that means your nationality, the country where you live in, the country where you are located at the time of creating the account. You put in your first name and last name exactly as they appear on your identity document. And then when that is done, you select the ID documentation type that you want to use. If it's an ID, you select ID. If it's a passport or driver's license, you select that and click continue. So it's going to look like this. If you're using the web version, you're able to upload. So if you have the photos already of the ID documentation on your laptop, you can just upload them directly. And if you don't, you can take a picture. You can take a picture, and that is much better if you're using the application. So the same thing applies to the portrait, a photo. You also can upload directly if you have a clear photo on your mobile device or your laptop. But if you don't, you can still take it live. Yeah, so here are the options. It shows you can either take a photo or upload a photo. And so this is how it looks like. They are very, for example, a national ID verification. There are some things you have to consider as you upload. Yeah, it must be a government issued ID. So for Ugandans, it's a national ID. And then use original full size and unedited documents. For example, you can see here that the first photo is very full. So if the photo of your ID is a bit cropped, your account is not going to be verified. And place your documents against a single colored background. So don't make sure that when you're taking a picture of the document, the background should be clear. Don't use a background that is full of other things, and always make sure that it's readable and well lit. So if you follow all these steps, it should be easily verified. And I'll just give a few tips on what to consider. For example, if you're going to do your verification, here we have a photo of a passport. When you're taking a photo of the passport, take the photo from a bird's eye view, like 180 degrees on a white background. Yeah, this is 180. You can see everything on the passport, and the background is white and all clear. And then ensure the photo is clear and visible without any glares or sunlight. These are very simple things, but if you miss them, it's going to delay your account getting verified. And then also provide ID documentation from the country you are living in, and make sure that the ID is up to date. Always ensure that your face is free from obstruction. So let's say if you're not going to upload a photo that you previously had, and you're going to use live verification to take like a selfie, make sure you take off your glasses. If you wear glasses, you can take off your glasses. If you wear hats, you make sure that your hats are off. And also, what you should know is that you should be in a very well lit place, like probably daytime. If you don't have enough light at night, you can do the verification at night for a very during daytime. Sorry. So these are some of the bad examples. Like, let's say if your verification is not going through, this could be one of the reasons as to why your verification is delaying. You can see the first picture, the first example. It's a bit blurry. Yeah, the words are a bit blurry, and the background is not clear. The background has some words on it. And then the second picture it's not blurry. I can see the words clearly, but the angle is not very good. And then for the third picture, it's halfway. The face cannot be seen. So in that case, you're not going to also be verified. And then in the last picture, this is the kind of glare I was meaning. So if you take a photo, make sure you turn off your flashlight and don't direct the document under direct light, so to avoid these glares. And yeah, it's as simple as that. So um, if you take a very good picture, your verification is going to be verified in a short period of time. So after you've verified your account, you've unlocked a few limits. For fiat currencies, you have a daily limit a daily deposit limit of up to 50,000 US dollars and a withdrawal limit of 50,000 dollars as well. And for P2P transaction, the fiat P2P transaction limits, they are unlimited. Also, don't forget that with the daily deposit limit of 50,000, you have a maximum of about £4,000 per single transaction. So you can send up to 4,000 until you reach your daily deposit. But if you wish to unlock further fiat limits, you will need to complete address verification. I'll share that in the next few slides. And then for cryptocurrencies, the daily deposit limit is unlimited and the daily withdrawal limit is 100 BTC or the equivalent. So yeah, if you want, like I said previously, the limit, the fiat deposit limit is limited to £4,000 for a single transaction. And if you wish to adjust that, you have to verify your address. And to get daily fiat deposit limits of up to £172,000, you verify your address after completing identity verification. So as in this specific screenshot here, you see that it's not activated, the verify. So after you've been able to verify your personal details, then this will be activated and you can activate your advanced verification. So yeah, that is it. That's how simple it is to verify. Just a few helpful tips is that if your verification keeps getting rejected, make sure you cross check and see that you've considered the simplest things like glares or bad lighting. Try good lighting, you keep try a different angle when you're taking your photos, yeah, and try to submit again. But if you still have issues, then you can contact the Binance live chat support that's available only on the website. And for a better to be worked on better, when you contact live support, make sure you attach your ID documentation of the passport or driver's license or ID card that you're trying to use, and attach a video recording of yourself holding the ID documentation. So just record yourself with your ID documentation and put that in the live chat. That will make it easier for you to be worked on. Yes, so now after creating your account, you're able to deposit money and you can start trading. But before you deposit your money, you have to make sure that your account is secure. Yeah, most people just create their accounts and they don't secure their accounts, so they are prone to being scammed. Yeah, if your account is not secure, then maybe you leave your phone turned on at a restaurant, maybe on a table, someone else can just get your phone and access your account. So that's how important it is to secure your account. So let's look at how you can secure your account, your Binance account. And here we have three main ways to secure your account. The first way is to set up email verification. So by the time you're verified, this is already done. You've already set up email verification. And then you can set up Google authentication verification. You can set up mobile and SMS verification. Then also a few additional security measures that you can do is setting up YubiKey verification and anti-phishing code. So how do we secure our accounts? So the same way, you click on your profile, this icon here. When you click on it, you click on security. And these are the four ways you can secure your account, we have security key, Google authentication, SMS, and email verification. So first, I'll start with Google authentication. So I click on Google authentication and click on. I turn it on. When I turn it on, this is the window that I'm going to get. So you can always click, if you don't have the Google Authenticator already, you can click here and the link will lead you directly to your App Store or Google Play. So you install the Google Authenticator on your phone. After installing the Google Authenticator, you'll be able to, you'll go to the next step and scan. So you can either scan, if you're for example, if you have a phone and maybe you're not using a laptop to verify, you can always take a picture with a different phone and then scan, or you can just copy this. You can either scan or you copy this code and insert it in Google Authenticator. Google Authenticator is pretty easy to use. So if you open it, you just click a plus button and it will show you either to scan or enter the key. So after entering that, you click next. Sorry. You click next and then you're prompted to save and store this key. Yeah. In case, sorry. So in case you lose your phone, yeah, because the Google Authenticator is a two-factor authentication. It's that code they give you when you put your email and password. It's the code they give you to add to that for extra security. So in case you lose your phone, that means you've lost your Google Authenticator. You're not going to be able to get that 6-digit code to log into your account. So in that case, if you saved and stored this key, you can always get a new phone and restore your Google Authenticator using this key. So it's important to always secure this key, as it will help you recover your Google Authenticator in future. So when you're done with that, you can this is what it looks like in Google Authenticator, and the codes keep changing every 60 seconds. So you have to be very fast to log into your account. For email verification, you have to click send code, and the code for the email, the code lasts about 30 minutes, so you still have time with that. And then for the Google Authenticator, it's 1 minute. So you have to copy and paste it immediately to activate the Google Authenticator. So when you're done with that, it will show that you've enabled your Google Authenticator. And then we have SMS verification. So you can always choose if you want to use all the 3 steps of verification, or you can choose either to use email and SMS, or email and Google Authenticator, or you can have all 3 at the same time. So for email, it's as simple as, for SMS authentication, it's as simple as adding your phone number. You can select the country code, the phone number, and then send the specific codes to the email, to the number that you want to add, and then also the Google Authenticator code, then submit. So yeah, that's it for the 3 main security measures you can take. Then for extra security, the more secure way is to use a YubiKey. A YubiKey is a physical 2FA, and you can buy this YubiKey. It generates codes that are much longer than the 6-digit codes, and a YubiKey is more secure because it uses your thumbprint, and your thumbprint is unique to you. So you connect the YubiKey on the device, like on the laptop, and have your account logged in, and then you set it up. So that's basically it with the YubiKey. You just, so every time you want to log in, you insert the YubiKey and touch for some time, and then it will let you into your account. So the YubiKey costs between $40 to $70 for, and you can find it on Amazon. So that's the additional security measure that you can take to verify your account. So we also have anti-phishing codes. I don't know if some of you have heard about anti-phishing code. Anti-phishing code is very important because it's a code that you get when you get an email from Binance. So it looks like this. So it helps you to prevent phishing attempts from fake Binance websites or email addresses. Some of these scammers, they'll send emails to users. They'll send emails pretending to be from Binance. Like, let's say there's a giveaway from Binance. Click here and that. So how do you differentiate from a phishing email to an email from Binance? So, and sorry. So, anti-phishing code looks something like this. In this case, it's BTC20K. So you can type in anything, 40 to 20 non-special characters, mix them up. So you just click create anti-phishing code, you put in the code and then submit. That code will be unique to you. And every time you get an email that's from Binance.com, from the official Binance.com, it's going to look like this. It's going to have the anti-phishing code that you put. So if an email comes and it claims to be from Binance and doesn't have this anti-phishing code that you personally set for yourself, it's best not to click any links that are sent. So yeah, that is it. And so still, if you're having issues with Google authentication, with your mobile authentication, you can always contact live support and they'll get to you as quickly as possible. Also, what you should remember is that if you created an account using mobile or SMS, yeah, at the beginning I showed you that you can create with email or phone number. So if you use mobile or SMS, you cannot use it for any other account. Yeah, so that is it. Mathendu, let me know if I still have time to do a live demo. Hello?
All right, Rachel. Sorry. Thank you so much for that. Yes, we are able to do a live demo and we'll be showing you how to clearly do an account creation. And basically, whenever you're verifying, you have to be using your the phone to be able to verify. On Binance Web, you are not able to verify currently, but then you should be able to use your Binance app. All right. So now be sure to follow through the session as Rachel shows us how to basically do this. All right. Rachel, please continue.
Can you still see my screen?
Or not really. I think you need to share your screen again.
Okay.
All right. So those of us who've not joined the Telegram group yet, you're missing out. All right. The Binance East Africa Telegram group, you need to join that before you're able to actually. This is also a requirement for the for you to be able to win the giveaway. Again, on the chat section, those of us who are shilling projects, it's not the right platform. You risk, of course, getting kicked out of the webinar as well as you know getting out, not being eligible for the giveaway. So make sure whatever you talk on the chat section is actually useful data. All right, something that can help everyone. All right, Rachel, please continue.
Okay, so this is my interface for the Binance.com. So I'll click register as I showed you before, and here I'll have either to sign up with phone or email. You click that, and immediately they'll ask for your country or area of residence. So if you're in Kenya, you select Kenya. But since I'm in Uganda, I'll select Uganda and then confirm. And so here this is where you select either if you want to use phone number or email. Let me try and create with email. And then, sorry. And then I try and create a strong password. Yeah, so you can see that my password is long. It's at least 8 characters. It has a number, and it at least has an uppercase. Uppercase means capital letters. So after I'm done with that, I can. This option is for referral ID. So if someone referred you and you've not clicked on their link, always ask for their referral ID, because with this you can be able to earn a commission. Yeah, so your referral could maybe give you a 10% of commission on your fees. So it's always good if someone has referred you, or if you referred someone and you're helping them create the account, always make sure that they input your referral ID. Otherwise you won't be able to see the rewards from referring. So after that, I create the account, and it's as easy as that. So here they've sent the 6-digit code to my email. So I put in the code. And then click submit. So it's as simple as that, and that's how you create a Binance account in those few steps. So when you're done, you'll see that the verify option, they'll just tell you to complete verification to be able to access the Binance products and services. So you click verify. You click verify, and you confirm. Since I said I was from Uganda, I confirm that my country of residence is Uganda, and then you just click start now to verify the personal verification, government issued ID, facial verification, and the review time is 2 days, but it takes less than 2 days as well. So you click start now. And if you're using a phone, it's best to install the app. And if you're going to install the app, always go to the website. The website has a link that leads you to your Play Store, and you install the app directly. So you can use the app for verification. So you select your nationality, your name, your date of birth, and then you continue. As simple as that. I think I will stop here for now. So yeah, that's just about it. So when you're done with personal verification, you go, this is the icon right here. So this icon is where you go to. You can click on security. When you're done with identification and you've been verified, you see here it shows unverified. So when your verification goes through, it's going to be green, and it's going to show that you're verified. Then after that, you can click on security. Sorry. So after you've been verified, sorry. After you've been verified, you come back to this icon here and click on security. And under security is where you find all the security measures that you can take. You can see that the email verification is already there and it's active, so you can link your phone number for verification and also click enable for Google Authenticator. Binance or Google Authenticator. So that's basically it, and it's as easy as that. That is all for my presentation today. Uh, Thank you, Mathendu, for hosting me. Back
All
to you.
right, all right. Thank you so much, Rachel. Keep your questions ready for us. We'll be here to take any of the questions you have. Additionally, again, as we said, we have a giveaway at the end of the session. We will give you the rules at the end of the session. So you have to be here till the end of the session, all right? And the rules, of course, we'll also ask a few questions of what we've also taught you. So make sure to also be keen. So don't, I've seen some guys here, some of us here for just the giveaways. I'll tell you for sure it will be for those who understood what we are actually trying to convey, what the message is all about. All right. So the next session, now that you understand Binance, now that you understand how to create your own account, remember you have to have that particular account for you to be able to be eligible for the giveaway. Remember that I'll just give you that as a rule. Remember that. So if you've not created your account yet, make sure you already have that particular account, as well as join our East Africa Telegram group. This is our East Africa session, so be sure to be able to join the Binance East Africa Telegram group. We do weekly sessions on these particular topics, and you're able to learn with us. So thank you so much, Rachel. The next session now is brought to you by Louis, one of our greatest talent here, and he will be taking us through how can you do a peer-to-peer trade on Binance? How can you deposit your money on Binance? This applies to Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania, as well as other regions. As long as you can be able to check the regions that we've listed. So make sure you actually have you've completed your KYC and to do the peer-to-peer trading. So Louis, we can now go to the next session. You can be able to share your screen and we will be able to proceed.
Hi, Mathen. Hope you can hear me. Let me share my screen.
Loud and clear, we can hear you.
Okay, just a minute, I share.
All right, as Louis shares the screen, remember, as again we said, those of us who just joined, there's a giveaway at the end of the session, so be sure to stick around for you to be eligible for the giveaway. In addition to that, we will be taking you through Binance P2P today as well. We've already taken you through previously on how blockchain, how it got to evolve, and we are now able to show you now how to do a P2P trade. Louis, your screen is shared now. You can go to full screen and now continue.
All right, thank you. Hope I'm clear. Just to confirm again.
Yes, you're clear, loud and clear. I think you can go now to presentation mode and then you can proceed.
Okay, so as Matendo has rightly introduced the session, this session that I'm doing, it's the peer-to-peer. So usually abbreviated as a P2P. So you hear very many people saying P2P. So they just means they mean peer to peer. That is a simple term. So it's basically people exchanging. This is where now people get to exchange their fiat currencies into crypto. And these, I think, where most of us would be getting to next after they have verified the account. Because, I mean, you do want now to change your, let's say, Kenya shillings, Tanzanian shillings, or Ugandan shillings into some Bitcoin, into some BNB, into some BUSD. So this is where now you come in. So I'll be just covering the basics of like the P2P trading and, of course, fiat. And usually it's basically what is Binance P2P, why you should actually be buying and selling crypto through the Binance P2P, how to use it. I'll be doing this time a practical illustration, because I believe in practicality on such issues, because this is how maybe you get to see how to navigate when you are on the P2P, and perhaps some few updates. And of course, for those who want to become a P2P merchant, meaning you want to be now like a dealer, you want to be the one buying low, rather taking advantage of the differences of rates that are there every single day. So right to it, what is a peer-to-peer trading? As you can see over there on your screen, it's basically an exchange that involves three parties. In this case, you have the buyer on your left side, you have the seller on your right side, and of course at the middle is where now Binance is there for you. It's like it's actually acting as an escrow party, whereby it secures the interest of both the buyer and the seller. And one thing you need to know, or rather you need to really remember, is that all this trading is at zero fees. There are no charges that Binance is charging you. So that's I think that's one key thing that one really ought to know. There's a big advantage, because you're not paying anything for the fees. So on this side, you'll see, of course, there's if you're a buyer, you don't want, in this case, to buy some either USDT or BNB or Bitcoin. So of course you want to change those particular Kenya shillings or USDT into you want to change your Kenya shillings, Uganda shillings or Tanzania shillings into crypto. So of course you need to place an order first, then you send the crypto. So Binance will handle all that for you. So I'll be sharing a practical example. Let me not get into much details. On the seller side, just to put a little bit of touch up, is that a seller is somebody who is selling their crypto. They are selling their BNB. Perhaps they've made some profits into trading, or they've been paid some for a service in crypto, and they want now to convert into actual physical money, as is I think the fiat currency. So this is where now they'll be posting an ad. Maybe I can just share on that a bit later on the particular on the practical part. So with Binance, you can see all the available pairs, or rather the available cryptocurrencies and some fiat currencies that are available. So we have Bitcoin, we have USDT, we have Ethereum, DAI, BNB, BUSD, and for those who are in West Africa, they can do so with their Nigerian Naira. UGX was there, but I think it was removed. But that is the state of the matters now. So you can trade or rather buy and sell using these particular cryptocurrencies you are seeing on your screen. Moving forward, there's some bit of details. What are the numbers in terms of P2P trading within Binance? As I said earlier, we have zero fees. So that is one thing that you should actually get to really take advantage of. We have more than 50 fiat currencies, to be exact, 53 fiat currencies, meaning world currencies, from the US dollar to the yen, to euro, to naira, to Kenya shillings, to rand, all that. They are totaling 53. So you can see how vast the P2P platform is. In terms of trading volume processed, in terms of how much has been bought and sold within the P2P, that's in the upwards of about more than $10 billion as of this slide was being prepared. I'm sure that is quite higher than now. So I'm sure most of us will hear about use cases. What is the use case of this particular P2P platform? So they actually three key use cases of P2P that actually can give you a basis of why you should actually be, getting to see the importance of a P2P platform. So number one, it's
Louis,
affiliate
just a
business.
sec. The slides are not moving. I think you need to share them again. The slides are not
Oh,
moving. Can still see the.
from which part?
Just share them again. Share them again.
Let me share that. Okay. So
Yeah.
brother, at least let me know so I don't talk to myself.
All right. All right. All right. As Louis shares the screen, just a reminder. Those of us who are not on the Binance East Africa Telegram group, be sure to join in. We actually have a giveaway ongoing on the Binance East Africa Telegram group. We just give you goodies as long as you're, in the community. Be active in the community. We bring you goodies from, every now and then. We have weekly sessions where we teach you, topics like Binance P2P, Binance spot trading. We take an in-depth view of how to do spot trading. We also take you an in-depth view of how to do Binance Earn. We have products that is one of them called Binance Earn, where you're able to actually save your cryptocurrencies as well as stake them, as well as you're able to do all these actions. So I believe now we have the screen shared, and we can see the Binance P2P, where I think, Louis, now we are able to proceed.
Should I go full screen?
Yes, please go on full screen.
How is that?
It has not went on full screen yet, but I believe we can just proceed with the half slides, or you can share the other screen as well.
Okay. No, what's let me just do
As
it
I
again.
was saying, as Louis shares the screen, remember to join the Binance East Africa. We bring you all these weekly sessions. On Tuesdays and on Sundays, we have Sunday Shield. On Tuesdays, we have the newbie walkthrough. So if you feel like, where do I start? This is one of the master classes where now you get to understand, how blockchain has evolved, and we are able to learn more with time, as well as now take you on a step-by-step journey to get into understand crypto. All right. I believe now we can be able to see your full screen, Louis, and I believe
Awesome.
right
That's
now
okay
we're
now,
looking at currencies which are available on peer-to-peer trading, so you can proceed.
Okay, so I think I don't know, where did I lose you guys? What was the last screen shared?
I think, Louis, we can proceed with. You can start from here. You can go as well. Just repeat a few of the things you said, and then we're able to understand as well.
All right. So I think on this point of this, the particular screen is that these are the available cryptocurrencies that are available at the P2P platform. Meaning you can buy Bitcoin, you can buy USDT, you can buy Ethereum, you can buy DAI, you can buy BNB, BUSD, and for those in West Africa, they can buy the Nigerian Naira. So meaning you can exchange your Kenya shillings, your Tanzanian shillings, your Ghana shillings into any of these particular cryptocurrencies as you're seeing on the screen. So I talked about numbers. I mean, what are the numbers within the Binance ecosystem in terms of P2P? So one thing to be very clear is that you can see there are zero. So as I was saying, those are the. Okay, let me see. Yeah, those are the numbers. You can see there are zero fees of transaction, meaning you are charged nothing basically to transact within the P2P ecosystem. And in terms of fiat currencies numbers, there are 53 of them, meaning you can buy and sell in more than 50 currencies around the world. That is from the rand to the pound to euros to Kenya shillings, all that. And in terms of numbers, where you can see there are more than 10 billion in terms of what has been bought and sold within the Binance peer-to-peer ecosystem. So I think this is the point where I was talking about use cases. What key points that does P2P give you? So number one, you can see that it is a fiat gateway, meaning fiat. I think Madembe shared in the first slide about the history of money. Fiat is basically it in Latin means it's by declaration. Any currency of the world is a fiat currency. So you can see it's not only a fiat gateway to access crypto, but also a preferred gateway to cash out for miners and institutional traders. So they are actually, you have some for those who are maybe participating in the launch in the pools, mining pools. These were now they're able to cash out their earnings into fiat currency. That is either into dollars or into pounds, depending on where they are. Number two is that it's of course it's a profit making opportunity and also a platform, meaning that users can profit from offering trades on Binance P2P or spread across different exchanges, meaning you're able to take advantage of the differences, different prices of every other currency that is currently trading out there. And number three is that it is basically it's a remittance platform with over 50 supported currencies across the world. So you can see it's actually the best option to exchange your currencies at competitive rates, because they are all being listed by different individuals out there. Of course, the more people listing their trades, the more competition it's there, meaning you get the best rates out there in the market. So the basic thing, and of course the most important thing, is that on Binance P2P you can buy and sell crypto. That is, I think, as simple as it is. That's what I've been saying all along. So the other thing is that of course you can make money. As I said, user can make profits by posting buy and sell ads on Binance P2P, at the same time earning the spread between two orders. Of course, I think I'll be showing you a practical example on how that will happen. Remittance is what I think I touched on a bit, meaning that you can exchange on various cryptocurrencies that are available, or other fiat currencies that are available. So why Binance P2P? I think this is where we can maybe slightly compare fiat on ramps versus P2P. So fiat on ramps, these are platforms whereby you can, of course, exchange or rather convert your fiat directly into crypto, or the other way around. So if you look at the first point of format, is that if you compare with like fiat on ramps, direct fiat deposits and withdrawal via banks and e-wallet. So while at P2P, Binance P2P, there is crypto escrow, offline fiat as transaction. The other difference is that on fiat ramps, on ramps, payments are made directly through a third party, either through a bank or through a payment system. But on Binance P2P, it's between users, as P2P rightly puts it. In terms of payment methods, what differences are there? Usually, of course, there is one and two certain payment methods for each fiat on ramp. On Binance P2P, you can choose from a limited like payment channels that are there. I think I'll be going to show you when I do a practical example. The other factor of fees is that on fiat on ramps, various transaction fees, credit card, stock foreign exchange fees, and service provider fees. So there are very many fees that are going to be applicable when you are using the normal fiat on ramps. On Binance P2P, as you can see, it's very clear there. It is zero fees of transactions, zero ad fees, only advertisers margin that is applicable, and that is of course that varies as per the market conditions. On price, user can only take the given price by the particular platform that is on the fiat on ramps. It is price that is already set. There's no way, there's no negotiating, there's no influence of the market. But of course, on Binance P2P, you can see user can both set and take the price. So you can decide that I want to buy or I'm selling my USDT at this rate, and you wait until that particular order is or rather offer is taken out. In terms of the seller, you can say that the buy. You can say that I'm willing to buy Kenya shillings or rather Tanzania shillings at this rate. So you wait for the market to come to you. That is unlike now what you'd have on the fiat on-ramps, whereby they are fixed in terms of the rates. The limit in terms of transaction, it's very clear that payment or rather transfer limits are of course you are controlled by the third party, but here you are the user and you decide how much you can transact within the day. So the most important part is now, how do you use P2P? How does a practical P2P works out? So this assumes, or rather this takes into account that, number one, you have a registered account, you have completed the KYC, you have done your complete authentication, and you have already set the payment methods. And I'm going to be showing you how that appears. So let me open like a live account. Let me just log into my account quickly. So I'll do that right away. Maybe Badendo, as I open the account, I don't know whether there is something you may need to remind the users as I log into the account.
All right. As Louis opens the account, remember P2P is totally safe. Binance acts as the trusted escrow in this case. You are able to buy and sell your currencies. You're able to also make money as a merchant. All right. There's a small spread between the buy and sells, but the prices are very, very competitive. When we look at the Kenyan P2P, for example, you'll find that some of these cash on ramps, as well as probably the banks, the rate that they're actually able to offer you, let's say the USD, is a bit higher. Most of the last week has been about 123, when the P2P, you're able to actually buy the USD about 119. You're also able to get very competitive payout rates. What we mean by payout rates is whenever you're exchanging your dollars for the for the underlying currency that you want to have, all right, for the fiat currency that you want to have, you'll notice something that P2P offers you, very high rates. Right now, the official rates for, let's say, KES is about 17 point something. But then the merchants are also able to give you rates of above that particular rate. If you compare these to the banks, for example, you'll realize that the banks will buy the dollar from you at around 115. So if you have like $1,000, they are paying you 115,000. If you rather convert using P2P, you're paying about 118,000. You can clearly see the difference between these. So sorry, we had a glitch. So you can clearly see the difference between these particular payment methods. So Louis is ready. I think you can start. Your screen is now shared. Everyone else, now we are able to look at how to do a P2P trade, how to buy, how to sell. And of course, make sure to join our Binance East Africa Telegram group, as well as we have a new Facebook group, the Binance East Africa Facebook page. Remember to also like and follow as well there, so that we are able to link up more easily. On the Binance East Africa Telegram group, our angels are right there waiting for your questions, waiting to give you the relevant support. If they can't answer your questions, maybe they can give you directions on how to best get help. These are people who understand the system very well, who understand Binance very well. You can be able to ask these particular questions. All right. Louis, you can proceed with Binance P2P trading.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Madendo, for that fill-in. So once you log into the account, you can always navigate to, if you see the top part, you just navigate to trade, and then you scroll down to the P2P section. That's where the P2P is. So once you click it, let's wait for it to load. So this is where now you'll get to see the P2P platform. So now you decide now, are you selling or are you buying? So this is where now you can select that. Okay, just say that okay to that. So they usually like tutorials that are offered to you just if you are new. So what appears is what you can see over there. So yeah, so the key thing is you need to know, are you buying or are you selling? Buying meaning you want to exchange your fiat currency, you want to exchange your Kenya shillings, you want to exchange your dollars, you want to exchange your rand into either now USD, into BTC, BUSB, all that. So actually there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are seven pairs that you can actually do that. So number one thing, when you are, let's say, okay, let's start with the selling. I think let's start with selling. So selling meaning I want to sell my crypto. I want to sell my, let's say USDT, or I want to sell my BUSD into Kenya shillings. So number one, you have to change the fiat to your local currency. So in this case, what you are seeing now is a CNY. So I want to change that into KES, that is now Kenya shillings. If you are in Uganda, of course, you will.
Hello, Louis.
Hello? Hello? Hello, Madendo?
Yes, there seems to be a network glitch, but continue.
Okay. So yeah, thanks for that. So once you've, as I said earlier, if you are looking to sell, always select where you are, or which is your local currency, and you can able to see that here. If you are, let's say in Uganda, of course, you have to select UGX. UGX, that's there. If you are in TZ, so that is a TZ, that is there, TZS. So in this case, I'm in Kenya, so I'll select KES. So once that is done, remember we talked earlier about payment channels. So the next is, if you scroll there, let me just give time for it to load. Yeah, so on the payment channels, you can see there are very many payment channels. In this case, these are the channels that I am willing to receive payment to. So in this case, there's M-Pesa, there's M-Pesa Pay Bill, there's bank transfer, Equity Bank, Airtel, all that. Same, if you are in, let's say UGX, let me just show the example, or let's say TZS this time. So if you're in Tanzania, if I select TZS, the payment channels will also change to fit the Tanzanian region. So if I now select on the payments, you can see there is M-Pesa, Vodafone, there's Tigo, there's Airtel Money, bank transfer, Tigo Money, Western Union, Skrill, Cheaper, all that. So I'll just go back to KES because that's where I am. So, and I'll be selecting M-Pesa. Let me just see that. I'll be selecting M-Pesa. And again, the one thing that you also need to be aware is that there are very many. This is a marketplace, so you'll get all sorts of people out there. To not everybody has good intentions, but Binance always tries every day to clear out those bad actors. So you always advise that you choose the region Kenya, so that at least you select advertisements that are specific to Kenya. And if you are a newbie, is one thing that I'll really like advise and also recommend is that always show only merchants. These will save you a lot of hassles. It will save you a lot of problems, because most merchants are verified people within the ecosystem. So it'd be very hard for you to lose your money. But if you just go to anybody there who is selling, you may have some trouble, and you may take longer to solve your issue. So once you select, let's say, on the merchants, you can now decide to sell whatever USDT that you have, or BNB, or BTC, or ETH, or DAI. So again, you need to know what is your limit, how much are you selling, because all these merchants are they sell what they've been approved for, or rather what they have collateral with. So I think I'll deselect merchants so that at least you can have many offers. So yes, I think that is quite clear as it is. There's not much to explain. So if in this case I was doing an actual sell, I will click sell USDT. I'll have selected this particular person called Troy254. You can see his price is 119.30. He only has about 80.23 USDT for sell, meaning he cannot sell you more than if I'm selling, let's say, $100, this person I won't qualify for the trade, because I'm above their limit. And you can see their time period is 15 minutes, meaning the moment you open the trade and okay the trade, you have a payment. Rather, this particular seller has a 15-minute period to send you the Kenya shillings, because remember I'm the one selling my crypto, so I'm expecting Kenya shillings to my M-Pesa. So he will be having, that is the limit that he set. Others will have 60 minutes, others will have 45 minutes, others will have 30 minutes. So always choose the person who is maybe, depending on how much you are how fast you need the money. And of course, if you want to sell all, I can see I have about 44 USDT on my Binance P2P. One thing I think, again, before I go very far, if you have your crypto on the spot wallet, you cannot sell it directly on the P2P. You need to transfer that amount to P2P. In this case, you have to go to your wallet and then transfer that to P2P. I think today we may not have time for that. So let's say I'm selling $20. You can see I'll be getting 2,386 Kenya shillings. That's the payment method. That's my number. And then of course you click sell USDT. So if once I click sell, I will have activated this particular this particular trade. So it will be captured, and the person should be sending me the crypto within 15 minutes. Once I receive, okay, let me just because it's a trial, let me just do, let's say, $10 for this particular example, and you can see how fast that is. So I'll click sell. So no, okay, I need to refresh it perhaps. So let's see that, and then so I'll click on sell. So today I'll be doing an example of sorry, I say $10. Then I click sell. Okay, so is it published yet? So let me try another one. So I hope we are following. You can see it's you need to know your way around. So once you've done, you've placed your order, there's a way you can also check your ongoing orders. If you click on orders, so all that is processing, all that is pending, all that is paid, you can always check on this part, written orders. I think the network is a bit slow, but we're getting there. Remember, be keen. You should be asking any questions that you may have. So let me look at the person who has a good. So you can see I'm looking to sell $10, and you can see these particular traders, they have set higher limits. So I cannot be able to sell my $10 with these guys because they have higher limits. So I need to look for the person who is within my $10 limit. So you can see all these guys, they have high amounts. So you can see it keeps going on high. The rates also, the more the amount is less, the more the rate is of course changing again. You can see it's 119.40. It keeps on reducing. In this case, because I'm selling 119.31339. So I need to scroll down further until I get somebody who is selling. Also, there's somebody called Blux. He has done 56 orders so far, and he can be able to take payments in M-Pesa, MTN, all that. So let's say I click sell. Let's try it out. Though for some reason, I'd have gone actually with this guy called Jaden, because I can see he's verified. So actually, let me go to with this guy that is verified, because this gives me more confidence of this trade. And I said, for any new person, you are better off dealing with somebody who is been there for your safety. We're not saying that these guys are not good, but of course, you need that level of confidence. So I'll put $10. Then I click sell. Okay, so they keep changing. I don't know why. But anyway, I think you get a point. Maybe we may not get this through because of the networks, but that is basically the basics of it. So if you hover your mouse to the more, this is where now you're able to add your payment method. If you want to let's say to add a bank account or to add another payment channel that you have, this is where you want to do it. P2P user center is the place whereby you as a let's say as a merchant or as a like active trader, or if you want to sign up as a merchant, you may come to this place whereby it says this is where you see, this is where now you sign up to be a merchant, or rather to post a trade or to add your payment methods that you have. If you want to check all your you can see it's over here. Those are my details. So yeah, you can always see that over there. The last part is the express part. So express is whereby you come in you don't want to go through all that process of like selecting the orders. You come straight to, as the word express says, express. You want direct. I have 10 USDT. I want to sell it straight away. So I just come to express. Let it give time for it to load. I think it's a bit slow. Yeah. So so in this case, if you are selling or buying, in this case I'm selling. So you just key in straight how much you want to sell, and then it will automatically select the best person out there with the rates. So the minimum, as you can see over there, the minimum you can trade or rather use express is 20 USD. So once you put that, it will give you, the moment I click sell, it will select a trader automatically and give me the payment details. So I hope that the clears the air for us. So Madendu, I don't know whether there is, I think that is the much I wanted to share today. Madendu, I think that is the much I wanted to share today. So as I'm waiting for they to come back online, let me share my earlier screen. Then I get to summarize what I have today. So have you seen we've been able to go through? Is it sharing? But then, are you there? Hello?
Yes. I believe you've clearly shown how to do P2P. And thank you so much for that, Louis. Additionally, now the giveaway session has officially started. We have put in the link, and you should be able to have you should be able to open those the Google form. Just a second. The link is not working. Let me share it again. Let me share it again. Just a second. let me make sure the link is working. Okay. Just a second. Okay. So we will be sharing the link in a few. So in the meantime, we will be taking your questions. Give us, tell us, what would you like to know about, about the session. So the giveaway session, just a sec. We will let's correct the link. We will be correcting the link shortly. Then you'll be able to fill in the form. So in the meantime, let's take the questions you may have. Again, remember to join the Binance East Africa Telegram group for you to be eligible for the giveaway. Uh, Remember to join the Binance East Africa Telegram group. We are putting the link right here. The Binance East Africa Telegram group, it's right there. We will be taking any questions. So on the chat section, be sure to ask those sessions, the questions you may be having currently. So in the meantime, so is it easy to process? Is it easy to process to become a merchant? So Louis, can you take that question, please?
Yeah, I think that question comes from Joshua Guma. Yes, it's pretty. There's a form that you fill. As long as you meet all the requirements, there's some requirements you're supposed to meet, and once you provide all the information that is required of you, I think it will be like a setup process. It doesn't. It's not something. If you've been trading on the P2P and you want to, it's like an upgrade. So most of the things.
All right, I think we're losing Louis. All right. Now, we have corrected the link. We are sharing it right away. Make sure to fill in the link for you to be eligible for the giveaway session. We are putting in the link. We are just currently doing it right away.
But then can you hear me now?
Yes. So now we are showing the link. Be sure to join in, rather to fill in this link, and you will be eligible for the giveaway session. We have shared the link. Remember to answer the questions correctly. Remember to join in the Binance East Africa Telegram group for you to be able to get for you to be able to get that. All right. The Binance, thank you all for joining in. Remember to use the link for you to be eligible for the giveaway. We will take a few more questions. Henry Bart asks, if you've lost your authenticator and you didn't save the keys, what can be done? So if you lost your authenticator and you have not saved your keys, you'll need to contact Binance customer care. Then the customer care will be able to reset the link. And then once they reset that particular link, you'll be able to, rather your Google, once they reset it, you'll be able to actually be able to log in back to your account. All right. So if you've lost your keys, the customer service on Binance will be able to reset it for you. So you have to engage them and do the reset. All right. So we'll check the next question. How do you set? The next question comes from Marshall Bandi. How do you set limit orders to be able to start posting adverts? So to set limit orders, you have to be a merchant. So for limit orders are actually from limit orders are on spot trading, and they are not on P2P. But you are able as a trader to set orders on P2P. so that you're able to also do this, participate in P2P and make, some money. So again, as I said, we want to wrap up the session. Be sure to join in. Be sure to fill in the form for you to be eligible for the giveaway. The form has
Badendo,
been. Sorry,
there
Louis.
was a question from Yusef Taye.
Uh-huh.
He was asking whether is there a risk in P2P from scammers or fraud?
So Binance acts as a escrow service. What that means is you are able to, the old crypto. If you're buying, if you're the one buying, they will hold the seller's crypto. Then once you sell, then once you pay for that, now the seller will be obligated to release. If they don't release, you just have to show proof of payment. All right, you just have to show proof of payment. Those of us who are watching on PC, the link to the giveaway, you can alternatively scan this one, and you'll be also eligible. Scan the QR, and it will take you directly to the form. All right. Uh, so that's more like it from for today. We thank you for attending the session. Join our Telegram group so that we are able to also discuss more. And maybe we can have a closing word from our presenters, that is Louis and Rachel. Louis, any closing words that you may have?
For me, it's just it's been an awesome opportunity to get to interact with everyone. Let's keep learning, let's keep experiencing. That's the best way for you to know and see the value of crypto. Otherwise, thank you and have a good weekend.
All right, Rachel, any closing words that you have for us?
Thank you all for joining, and I'd like to encourage all those who joined today to help others and teach others about crypto and help them join crypto. And also, there are different ways you can earn money in crypto when you're not trading. For example, through referrals. Yeah, you can refer your friends and earn a commission on their trading fees. So that is all for today. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much, our hosts, our panelists, Louis and Rachel. Thank you so much. From my side, I would, recommend everyone to learn, focus on learning more. Uh, we um, we will be giving you a lot of training. We hope that you're also able to see the benefits of joining into these trainings. We will, the link is right here in case you didn't understand anything. Please always come back and rewatch this session so that you're able to also get an in-depth understanding. On the Binance East Africa Telegram group, we will also give you, more in-depth views on, let's say, these particular sessions. All right. And thank you so much for those of us who joined in. Have a good evening. Have a good evening and focus on learning. All right. Bye, 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 bye. Have a good evening, everyone. All right.